Hello and welcome. If you have not seen the film Minority Report, stop this lecture now. It is available on HBO Max and pay-per-view via YouTube. It's a rather hefty sum, I'm afraid, 99 crowns, but it will be very helpful for you to watch this movie before watching this lecture. Okay, now I'm talking to people who have seen the film, and you have already written your answers to Part C of the handout, so you will already have opinions about some of the topics that will not be overly prejudiced by my impressions of Steven Spielberg's 2002 film Minority Report. I asked you to consider which of the future technologies are plausible. Well, maglev cars are kind of cool, and we're getting there with self-driving cars, so some of that element is there. Non-lethal police weapons have been around for a while. You've all grown up with stories of rubber bullets in Northern Ireland. Water cannons to solve riots, but Spielberg has upped this game by including the sonic wave gun, the puke stick, and the totally debilitating halo, which is basically psychic handcuffs. Pretty scary stuff, all of it. I think you would agree. And we've got rocket packs and hover ships, and we're into the realm of flying cars. The usual technology future stuff. Now, Agatha, as a precognitive, as well as Dashiell and the other one, yes, let's just say that the science of it is a bit of a stretch, but Spielberg and Scott, the screenplay writer, go a long way to make this a cognitively understood phenomena. Still, as far as I know, it's not science, but I think you would agree that the precogs together are analogous to an AI program for detecting crime. Insofar as that Anderton at one point announces precogs are pattern recognition filters, that's all. Interesting to see how that attitude develops in the progress of the movie. Facial recognition technology is here now. Proximity AI engagement, the targeted ads calling to Mr. Anderton or Mr. Watanabe. While I was in a very large supermarket late at night a couple of evenings ago, as I would walk down the frozen food aisle, the cabinets would be darkened. And as I approached the cabinets, the lights would come on and invite me to look at all the beautiful frozen pizzas and ice creams that were behind the doors. So I haven't exactly been hit by a targeted ad, except on the internet and via Skype, but it was interesting to see it in real life in the supermarket. Okay. I'm going to give you a few real-world examples, and I'm going to go through it really quick because I'm sitting in the middle of an airport right now. And if you're interested in these things, you can Google them right up, and if you can't find them, I can help you. Okay, first of all, there is, courtesy of IBM, a crime reduction AI program that started in 2010 and is actually still running in the city of Memphis. It is called Blue Crush. I don't know, sounds like a soda to me, but anyway. The blue is it's the IBM Blue Crime Reduction Utilization Statistical History, and basically it throws algorithms in to see what parts of what cities have had the most crime in the past, and then it predicts where crimes will be performed later, and it does. It works. It does work. Okay. We have Clearview facial recognition programs that goes through all social media, all media of any kind, including surveillance photos, and it has been used by a lot of police departments in particular to deal with gang violence in some instances. OnStar, if your car has GPS, it can be turned off remotely. What happens is if a vehicle is reported stolen, the GPS will file in a power down program to the car, and it will stop the car. By the way, it will also stop the car if you don't make your payments. So you cannot drive around in a car with delinquent loans. Face scanners, eye scanners, ubiquitous surveillance cameras. I think we're already there, really. Drones for surveillance. This was actually used first institutionally in the southern U.S. border, and coming to a location near you. I remember when I was at Future Lab in Amsterdam. This would have been 2013, and the policemen there were learning to fly small drones, about 30 centimeters or so, through the streets of Amsterdam. And while this is somewhat frightening, I will tell you they were having a really good time. Okay, we can do this. The question is, should we do it? And so I've included here a couple of ideas of what Enlightenment political thinkers would consider. Using Eric Schatzberg's instrumentalism versus cultural paradigm of technology, you can see how the instrumentalism is weighed against the ethical considerations of the cultural perspectives. So while intrusive surveillance is legal, even though some few municipalities have banned it, by the way, Portland, Oregon is among them, it is arguably unconstitutional. If you're being constantly surveilled, that will have an indirect effect upon your feeling of being able to freely speak. And the Fourth Amendment, which protects you from unjustified search and seizure. I'm going to transition over to some literature questions about the film, since it was the only work of literature for this module. But before I do, I would like to point out how ironic it is I am giving this particular lecture in an airport, which is probably the most surveilled space in North Atlantic society. Okay, it's a work of literature, so let's just go through the basic literature things. The setting. You might consider, how does locating the film in Washington, D.C. highlight the themes of the works? Well, it is America's capital. It has and the United States has a long tradition of individual rights. How does that figure into the plot of this film? For my money, the most exciting part of novels and films is how the characters develop. And I think you will agree that Anderton and Agatha were integrated in a particularly strong way. And don't forget, Anderton regarded Agatha as a pattern recognition filter, nothing more, at the beginning of the film. What is his attitude toward her at the end of the film? The plot, where would you locate the climax of the action of this film? And by the way, I don't mean action like Grand Theft Auto action. I mean action or Need to Speed. I mean, in the plot of it, where is the turning point where the highest degree of tension is reached for you as a viewer? And finally, you knew this was coming, is Minority Report good science fiction? Why or why not? Okay, I think I have imposed upon my neighbors here in this waiting area long enough. I'd like to conclude now by thanking you for your attention, and I'm really looking forward to our seminar next week. Bye for now.